Ladies and gentlemen, you already know what time it is. It is time for the Maritime Wrestletime podcast. That's right, your greatest source of wrestling news, AEW, WWE, NXT, all other wrestling, all maritime, all here with me and Zach. Zach, how are we feeling today?
I feel like you practiced that intro. I feel like it has nothing to do with the bit. I'm not even going to try to question your bits anymore.
Well, I have 6 days in the week where we're not doing podcasts, Zach. I've got a lot of time to fill.
Exactly. Yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, we got a podcast today, episode number 4 of our weekly Maritime Wrestletime podcast. Mm-hmm. Here is what is on the menu for today. We have AEW, which is a wrestling promotion.
What?
We have Smackdown, which is also a wrestling promotion.
Excuse me.
We have Raw/Retribution talk coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have NXT. And then we have the bad booking segment, which will be run by Alex today.
I'm fuming.
He is fuming. I'm very excited for that. Sorry, guys, I'm just putting my phone on silent. And we have more questions from my friend and your friend, Patty.
I should also put my phone on silent.
Yeah, let's do that before we start.
Yeah, that's probably a
great idea. Okay, so AEW had a pay-per-view. It was called All-Out. The ratings came in. It was a pretty good pay-per-view. The problem with the pay-per-view was after the Hardy versus Sammy match, a lot of people kind of probably got uninterested just because of the gravity of the situation that was happening. But for the people that want to know who won the Predictions Cup, for the first time in AEW history, for our first pay-per-view anyways, we tied. We went 5 for 5. The difference, I won with Matt Hardy and I won with Lance Archer. Alex won with Big Swole.
That's right, Big Swole!
And Hiroki Kushida. The rules for that, basically I retained the belt and I'm still just a 2-time champ, not a 3-time champ. So Alex will have to wait for the next pay-per-view to see what's going to happen, if he can finally dethrone the Prediction King.
Which will happen. It will happen.
It's better.
Mm-hmm. It's not a prediction, Zach. It's a spoiler.
Okay. So AEW happened. We're just going to run out a few things that went down. First things first. So Miro is now in AEW, formerly known as Rusev, of course.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this, Alex?
Yeah, so like in WWE, I really want to see him be this really dominant figure. I remember him just tearing through opponents and being unstoppable when he started his career, and that's kind of really what I want to see from him in AEW as well.
You kind of want to see him do well. It's interesting the way they brought him out, though, as a best man to Kip Sabian. I don't know if they're trying to say that he's going to be teamed up, which there's a lot of teams in AEW, and I don't really want to see. I kind of want to see more singles action at this point. But if it's to be Miro versus Kip Sabian, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that'd be a good match.
First feud, that's perfectly fine. And I mean, now it pretty much ends Rusev's career in WWE because we haven't seen somebody go from WWE to AEW back to WWE yet. It could happen. He had a pretty good WWE career. I mean, he fought John Cena at WrestleMania.
Yep.
He fought Undertaker at one of the Saudi Arabia shows. I forget which one it was. And so, there's nothing to scoff at there. He was a U.S. champ, tag team champ, so they used him very well.
I think so.
We obviously thought he was going to get a run at one point because Rusev Day was white hot.
Oh my god!
And there was actually some chance of Miro Day during when he came out, which was really cool.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that he actually debuted on Rusev Day.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Quite a coincidence.
It's now called Miro Day.
It
just changed.
That's true.
So you're going to have to get that out of your mind.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit. And so congrats, Miro. Hopefully you got paid a lot to be in AEW.
Yeah.
And hopefully it goes well.
Absolutely.
We have a new tag team to announce. Well, not really, I guess. But apparently Chris Jericho and Jake Hager are now going to do a tag team run. What do you think about this? I mean, when I look at that, I think, okay, well, your singles stars are already a little thin, and now you're putting Jericho in a tag, which your tag team division is already really good.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Jericho just going in the tag team division?
Well, I mean, I've seen Jericho be in tag teams before.
Yeah.
And he works very well, but I don't know much about Jake Hager being in tags. I see him much more as a single star than I do see him as a tag.
I'm thinking about Jake Hager's run in AEW, and he is, not doing a lot of promos. He's not, and if he's going to be this big, tough guy, it's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you go back to what his WWE days were like, he wasn't a tough guy at all. He was more of the butt end of the joke.
Yeah, he
was a world champ.
Yeah,
and he's a U.S. champ and all those belts. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how that's going to work.
I know in WWE he did job a lot to some people, which I don't think he should have jobbed to. But
yeah,
and
he got stuck with some gimmicks that were interesting for sure.
Yeah,
he was a tag. I guess you could say he was a tag team with Cesaro. And it was the We the People thing.
Weird angle.
And when he was at one point, he was with Dolph with Vicky or something like that. But he's not really been in a tag team. He's been in kind of these groups.
That's the thing.
Not really in a tag team.
Yeah, I see him much more as a single star. But we'll see.
Yeah.
There's definitely potential, and I mean he's with Jericho.
Exactly. If it's Jericho and Hager versus FTR, it's going to be a great match.
Yep.
If it's Jericho and Hager versus whoever, it's probably going to be a great match.
I'm sure they'll be able to find a way to make it work.
Oh yeah. It's just an interesting tag team for me, but I'm excited to see because Jericho's gold wherever he is.
Absolutely,
so we'll see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about Luchasaurus.
Okay.
I really like Luchasaurus. I love all of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
I love the character. I love Jungle Boy as well. I'm not taking anything away from Jungle Boy, but
I love his look.
Yeah, exactly.
His look is so cool.
But there's just something about Luchasaurus that he's doing all these flips off the rope, and I'm thinking, damn, that's a big guy doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not I'm not comparing him to anybody who's, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody a big guy do backflips off second ropes and onto the floor and all that kind of stuff. So
yep.
I'm gonna keep my eye on Luchasaurus for a little bit, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always fun when you see bigger guys being very athletic, but I feel like he does the job better than most do.
Yeah, it's kind of like Keith Lee, in a way, but not the high flyer way.
Yeah.
But Keith Lee is also just he surprises you on being big, and that's it. Mm-hmm. That's all he has to do, and show up and do these wrestling moves, and people are like, "Holy shit, he can move!" And all of a sudden you're intrigued. So I think I'm getting that kind of effect with Luchasaurus. Mm-hmm. I don't want them to break up that tag team for sure. Not right now, anyways.
Yeah.
But both of them could easily be singles.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
The only person in that group that can't be would be Marco Stunt, but Marco Stunt's is a great kid.
Yeah.
Great kid.
Yeah.
But boy, can he bump.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Alex.
Yes.
You came over today and told me you had not seen Matt Sydal's debut on the Battle Royal.
Correct.
And I showed you the clip.
Yes.
It was about 25 seconds long.
Yeah.
Great knee to Sean Spears.
Oh yeah, wonderful knee.
And then he proceeds to go for what used to be called airborne, now is just called a shooting star press, and completely slides off the rope, lands on his back. Alex, is this worse than Titus at the Greatest Royal Rumble?
See, that's hard for me because, how big they made Titus World Slide a thing.
Yeah.
I think, and this is what you told me as well, just because it's kind of his introduction into that company, right? This is the first you see of him.
Yeah, it's the first surprise.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the first surprise, but it's the surprise of the Battle Royal,
and
right?
it's someone who we know can wrestle well.
Very well.
And he just completely botches this move that's supposed to be his signature move.
He's done it 1,000 times.
Yes. I don't think I've ever seen him botch it like that before, or even close to that.
I would have to look, but I'm not sure that I've... Not that extent.
No, absolutely not.
I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
But now that I know he's okay...
Yeah.
That's got to be close to Titus level, if not bigger than Titus level.
Yeah, I think close, but I still think I hold Titus above it.
Yeah?
Just because of the implications of it.
It's just one of those things where Titus or Matt could have gotten really hurt. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Matt could have landed on the ropes and flipped over and hurt. Like, he could have literally hurt himself from right off his first move.
Yeah.
And Titus, when he slid, there could have been tables there. There could have been ladders under there.
In both cases, it has the same effect where, like, when people enter the ring in that fashion, they're supposed to have, like, their own, like, small moment where they, like, beat up people in the ring and then the match continues as normal. Yeah. But this kind of just stalls the match a little bit because it's like, oh, what was supposed to happen is not happening anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know who he was trying to do the shooting star press on, but good for that guy because he noticed right away he wasn't going to get it. Yeah. And then he attacked or went for Matt Sydal. So at least he made it look a little... No, it wasn't even a little better. It was pretty botched.
Yeah. It was
Sorry, Matt.
Pretty bad. Unfortunate. Hopefully, though, it's not the last we see of him.
No, yeah, I'm sure he's...
So, yeah.
Another note on AEW. It looks like... No, I could be wrong, but it looks like Kenny Omega and Hangman Page are done as a tag team.
Yep.
They had a good run. I believe they were with the title for 6 months, give or take. Mm-hmm. I think that was about the right amount.
It's a good title run.
Good title run. Now Hangman's out of the Elite apparently. Mm-hmm. So, what do you think? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, good God, is the Cleaner coming back? Like, is Kenny Omega coming back, being the same Kenny Omega he was with New Japan? And if he is, can I please find a way to buy tickets to go see it? Because that was one of the best characters for wrestling.
Absolutely.
When he was in New Japan.
Like, still to this day, when people talk about, like, greatest matches of all time, I still think Omega versus Okada as one of the top contenders.
Amazing. So, if we can see that, I'm down for it.
Exactly. I want to see that Kenny Omega.
But that's the thing too. Like, I don't want to see the Cleaner do a hardcore match. I want to see the Cleaner do a wrestling match, and I want to see it against all the guys that they have in AEW and make it be good.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know. I'm just excited to see the Cleaner come back.
Yep.
I think it's going to be great.
100% agree.
If it is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And with Hangman, well, now he's kicked out of the Elite. So now, where is he going to go? Is he going to go into what, it's hard to see because I don't even know, like, do you think I'm not really seeing him beating Moxley.
I don't see that either. I don't really see that feud
beating Brody Lee either.
No.
So I think he's going to go into maybe like a Darby Allin, a Sammy Guevara kind of feud, maybe something like that. Or maybe he saves the Elite and they put him back in, I don't know, but I think the potential for Omega here, coming back as the Cleaner, would probably be really, really, really amazing.
Yep.
And I think that's where they're going to go. And I hope that's where they're going to go.
I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Lance Archer won the Battle Royal.
Yes, he did.
So he is going to face the champ soon.
Yes.
We don't know when. The champ is still Jon Moxley, which when it happened, I was kind of surprised because I was like, this was their chance. And we said this last week on the podcast. We said this was the chance to put a homegrown star as a champion, a great heel, probably the best heel in the business, and they didn't do it. But looking at the match, looking at how it went, and looking at how Moxley won, boosts his character. It doesn't boost his wrestling skills, just boosts his character because Moxley's kind of like the FU character, and putting all these stipulations, and he's not a joke, but he likes to do those kind of things. Like just those little tidbits of things, and I think that it pushed MJF to be a star doing this match, which is what they needed. Because they need more singles guys. We've talked about this, and I think Lance Archer would probably have a way better match versus Moxley than he will with MJF. So I think that Archer and Moxley will be a championship match. Who will win beats me, but I think that MJF should have a pretty substantial feud coming up.
Yep.
I don't know what it would be, but it has to be pretty big. Who would you like to see MJF go off against?
I was gonna say Brody Lee, but I just don't see that. I don't know.
No, I don't think.
I really don't see that.
I think Brody Lee's going to have to keep going with the Nightmare family for now, just until I think that they're going to build up. Because right now, Brody Lee is fighting with Colt Cabana, which is in his group, and he's really mad at him because he lost him the match at All Out. So I don't know if they're going to do Brody versus Colt, and then maybe Cody comes and attacks Brody, which is a possibility. But we'll have to see. I mean, I kind of want to see MJF fight amazing, like Miro. Wouldn't that be an amazing?
That would be a great match. Yeah, wow.
Like that's kind of what I want to see happen. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they have something planned, and it's going to be good regardless.
Yep.
Maybe it might be Wardlow too. Because they got into a little bit of a feud too. Because Wardlow messed up the end of the All-Out match. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I just feel I don't want this loss to affect him in a way where he's not a superstar like they build him up to be.
I think it would be hard to take it all away from him.
Yeah.
There's too much built into him, and he's still the best heel in the company.
Yeah, he's the best.
Despite having lost a match, it's fine. It doesn't change anything. Yeah. Doesn't take anything away from him.
Yes.
So
I agree. And I really hope that they see him and be like, okay, we have a homegrown guy here. We got to give him a championship, and we got to give it to him pretty soon.
Absolutely. So Matt Hardy.
Yeah, Matt Hardy. And probably what was the most scared I've been watching a segment or watching a match. God, I mean, the spear was bad enough as it is. They overshot it, and it was clear that Matt was hurt. I don't know if Matt I'm pretty sure he had probably something to do with the booking of that match. Mm-hmm. But good God, like, he's a 45-year-old guy, and he's taken that spear from that high, and he's putting himself in a lot of danger. Mm-hmm. And they said it wasn't a concussion, but he is going to take some time, which makes me think that there might actually be something wrong with him.
Yeah.
But I just hated watching it. Like, it made me not want to watch the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was really hard watching him just stumble around afterwards.
Yeah, and Sammy having to carry him and all that kind of stuff. But, like, I was raving about their match last week, last podcast. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at the feud, and the first thing that happened, he literally got chucked a chair in his face, huge gash, and then they have this tables match, and they do all these dangerous bumps, and then Sammy gets a gash, and now they do this broken rules match, and Matt Hardy might be broken for whatever long it takes for his recovery.
Yeah.
Can't they just do a regular match? Can't Sammy have a great match with Matt Hardy just like that? Mm-hmm. Why is Matt putting himself in these kind of situations at 45 years old?
I don't know.
With 3 kids.
I don't know if it's Matt thinking he needs to do these kinds of matches to stay relevant, which he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, no, it was very hard to watch. Very hard to watch,
and made me very scared for Matt. And I hope he's okay, and whatever recovery time he takes, he take it.
Yeah.
And God, I hope I don't see something like that again, because what they should have done, if that happens and Matt goes and hits his head, if Aubrey couldn't feel his hand, she did the right thing as the ref. She put the X up, and they came.
Yeah.
But they got to end the match right there. Like, watching Matt Hardy struggle to get up was the most uncomfortable thing I've seen in wrestling in a while.
Yep.
And I think if you would have had the X up and you would have told people sometimes this kind of stuff happens, I wouldn't have been upset. You wouldn't have been upset.
Yep.
But at the same time, we're going to be worried regardless. But to have him keep going, it was just uncomfortable to watch. And there's a lot of people that have said after seeing that injury happen and then keep going, they just zoned out of the pay-per-view because you were starting to get worried for Matt at that point.
Thank God they didn't make him take any more bumps afterwards, but I completely agree. They didn't end of the match.
Like, they didn't have to do that kind of match.
No, they really did not.
He's 45, and he's fighting Sammy, who's like 20-something.
Yep.
Don't you think it would be much better if they had an actual wrestling match and Sammy would have won or Matt would have won?
Either result is fine as long as Matt doesn't take that bump.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just like, God, because like Matt's been like, and there's not a lot of things that have worked for Matt in AEW yet. The broken stuff hasn't worked. Yep. The gimmick change for the Stampede match was fun to see, but it's kind of meta at this point.
Yep.
And I think for me, I just want to see Matt wrestle regular matches. If you give him a TLC match, at least make it at the ring, where he can fall on something that's supporting him, not friggin' concrete.
Yeah.
So, anyways, best wishes to Matt Hardy, and I hope you get a full recovery. But for God's sakes, Matt, like,
come on, buddy.
Don't scare us like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's it for AEW talk today. I don't think I had anything else.
Yeah.
So SmackDown.
So last week, when we were talking about the matches that were going to happen at Clash of Champions, we talked about Roman Reigns and how there was going to be a 4-way match to decide who's going to face against Roman Reigns.
And I can hear it in your voice. You're kind of salty already. I just see it.
So that obvious?
Yeah, a little bit.
So we both talked about how it only made sense that Big E was going to be the one to win that match.
Yeah.
Of those four guys.
Yeah, because that was the only guy that was kind of being built up.
Yeah. Well, SmackDown starts with Sheamus attacking Big E, and he's immediately out of that match.
Are we already at bad booking segment here?
No, this isn't my bad booking.
Okay.
My bad booking is much worse than this. Oh yes, much worse than this.
Excited.
Yeah, so he gets attacked by Sheamus, which I kind of, in a way, enjoyed it. They're trying to make Sheamus look stronger, I guess.
I don't like his outfit.
Give
me the same Sheamus.
Yeah, I don't like his
for the longest time.
I don't like his new gimmick. It's weird.
I just want to see Sheamus beat people up.
Yeah.
In his, and I don't want to be picky about it, but
he looks like a cartoon character.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also the fact that he looks like a guy that you wouldn't want to fight, but at the same time, I've seen Sheamus wrestle for a long time now. Yeah. Over 10 years.
Yeah.
And I just don't like this white shirt
it's just,
brawler kind of thing.
It doesn't suit him, I don't think.
No. Sometimes I just feel like WWE is trying to make a character out of something they already have working.
This is a Vince idea.
It might be a Vince idea. I have no idea. But that's just the way, yeah. But anyways, yes, Big E gets attacked by Sheamus.
Big E gets attacked by Sheamus, which was an interesting segment. Gets attacked on a car and stuff, which is okay. And then he gets replaced with I can't tell the Usos apart. I think it's Jay.
I think it's Jay.
Jay Uso.
Yeah.
Who ends up actually winning the Fatal 4-Way match.
Yeah.
And
so
is
that
now
was a swerve, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he's now the #1 contender to face Roman Reigns at the next pay-per-view. How do you feel about that?
I like it.
Really?
I like it. I know you don't.
Yeah.
We can have different points.
Sure.
But in a time of where you're always thinking ahead and you're always looking at, okay, well, who's Roman's next opponent? I gotta admit, I did not see, because we saw Big E come in. Yeah. And we also, if you look at all that match, if you want to push Matt Riddle there, okay,
sure,
that's fine.
Want to put Sheamus,
that's okay, but it's not. Yeah. It's not what we thought Big E was going to be. Yeah. But it's kind of funny because when you think of who should have won the match, and we both agreed, and we've said this a billion times, it should have been Big E. It's because Big E's in a position where Kofi and Xavier are injured. Yeah. But isn't it funny that the winner of that 4-way was Jay Uso, and because Jimmy's not there? It's kind of a funny thing.
It's like it's the same position for both of these people.
Yeah. Do I think that Jey Uso is going to beat Roman Reigns? Hell no. But do I think that Jey Uso can give a great match and open a lot of eyes? Yeah. Yes, I absolutely do. And I think that Roman would be the guy to give him that kind of match.
Yeah, I absolutely think that. And I think since, they had such a strong connection, I think Roman is going to be willing to sell a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
With Jay.
100%.
Have a good match with Jay. It's not. I don't think it's going to be a stomp or like a very one-sided match. I do still think Roman Reigns is going to win, obviously. Yeah. But I think it's going to make the promos interesting. I want to see how they deal with it since Roman Reigns is a heel now.
Yeah. Well, Roman doesn't even have to do a promo anymore. So it'll be Paul Heyman stuff.
Well.
So yeah. Let's be real. It's going to be. It's kind of like it's not a gimmick match, but it's kind of one of those matches where you're just like, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Because it's one of those like Dominic and Seth at SummerSlam. It was kind of like, okay, well, cool. Dominic has got his first match and it's the big stage and everything. And now it's like, okay, Jay's got his first singles match and it's against Roman Reigns for the title. So it's going to be big and I like it. Yep. I'm fine with it. I know you. I know you want to see Big E, but
Yeah, I really wanted to see Big E there,
Yeah.
but you know, it is what it is. I think the match is gonna be okay, but
yeah,
I think the booking could have been better.
yeah, that's fair.
Next up, we had a match that was that involved Sasha and Bailey, in which Bailey turned on
I
Sasha.
forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
This is how I see it, and from my perspective, I'm thinking that Sasha is injured.
Okay.
Just maybe she's not, and maybe she's just trying to take some time off, which is, I mean, Sasha's worked really well for the last seven or 8 years.
Yep, something like that.
And I have a feeling that she's either injured or going to take this time off, and she's going to come back at the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble. And I think that Sasha wins the Rumble and then takes on Bailey at WrestleMania for the title, because that would be the way to book it.
That's a really good booking. Yeah.
And not only that, but Sasha, like, if she is out for a little bit, that's fine. I mean, Bailey can do her own thing and promote more talent in the female division.
Yeah.
And to see Bailey versus Sasha at WrestleMania, if they can have a match like they had at TakeOver, I think it would just blow the roof off the place. And to be fair, there's no roofs because it's at a football stadium, but I think it's just going to be an amazing match.
Yeah, I think that would be great booking. I don't know if that'll happen because it's WWE.
I mean, we've said that many times.
That's true. That's also true.
I just don't see how else they would book it. Like, imagine the pop for Sasha being 30 at the Rumble. Or
That's true.
Being first. Or
I think, and I don't know if this will happen because I don't know if she'll be back in time, but I think Charlotte as number 30 would also be a good pop.
Yeah, but
I don't know if she'll be back in time.
Yeah, there's that.
Because I don't know how severe, like, what was her injury?
I think it was something to do with her cleavage, I think. I have no idea. I think it was something to do with that, but
I don't know.
Either way, just look at the women's division. That's the one thing I wasn't thinking about. Just look at it for a second, okay?
Yeah.
Charlotte's out.
Yeah.
Sasha's now out.
Yeah.
Becky's out.
Yeah.
Becky's going to be out for a while.
Yep.
If she ever comes back. So WWE better take a long look at their roster and be like, it's time to push someone. So yeah, I don't know, like the rumors were Peyton Royce and Bianca Belair, which is, I really want to see Bianca Belair get a chance here. But you're kind of leaving your women's division because we don't know what Alexa Bliss is doing with The Fiend yet.
Yeah.
We know that something's going to happen between those two. But you're kind of leaving the SmackDown women's division to Bailey, and you're kind of leaving the Raw women's division to Asuka.
Yep.
So there's going to be something there. There's got to be someone that's going to come out and surprise the world. They have a chance here.
They do.
They have a chance to pull a page, and they also have a chance to make a star here. And in my opinion, the person that they should make a star is Rhea Ripley. I think now's the chance. You can book her with Asuka on Raw and have her have a great match, because it looks like, I mean, if you take a gander at the female division, you got Peyton Royce, you got Billie Kay, you got Bianca Belair, you got Mandy Rose, but I think that if you want to keep it at a high level, I think that Rhea Ripley's the one to go here. And I think that with her last match on NXT, which we'll talk about later, the steel cage match, which Mercedes Martinez, I believe that she will be called up pretty soon.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to call Rhea. I just think I'd rather put her up with Bailey rather than Asuka.
Okay.
I feel like the female talent on SmackDown is lacking more so than Raw.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Well, I mean, it's not bad. It's just that they're stuck with these injuries.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They kind of got to do some quick thinking, which is kind of what Keith Lee's call-up kind of was, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they got to do something. And they got to promote someone to be huge here. Who is it going to be? No idea.
If not,
I want it to be Rhea Ripley.
If not Rhea, I would like Bianca.
Yeah, Bianca would be great.
Because she hasn't been utilized yet since being called up.
Exactly.
And she's great talent, so...
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of, like, the other women in the division. And Io Shirai's not ready yet, I don't think.
No, and
unless they want to do Io versus Asuka, which would be cool.
She's still champion. So that's not going to happen.
I think that the women's division on NXT is really strong.
Yeah.
I think that they haven't had enough great matches yet. I think that that's the only thing that's missing for Vince to see it and be like, okay, she can work, call her up now.
Yep.
So I think that that's the only thing.
That's fair. It's a fair point. But they definitely have the talent to have those matches. They just haven't had them yet. You know?
Yeah. As long as it's not Lana.
As long as it's not Lana. James Ellsworth.
Yeah, Carmella, I guess. But I think Carmella's in Retribution. I think. Anyways, keep going.
So that's actually all I have for SmackDown.
Okay.
Wasn't much more on SmackDown that I thought was super interesting.
The only thing that's interesting besides that is how are they going to book Jeff Hardy, Sami Zayn, and AJ Styles, which I just want to see a triple threat match.
I think that'd be solid.
Burn it.
Yeah.
And if Sami doesn't win, I'd be upset.
Honestly, you can run that match many times.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. But, that's the thing. To me, if you look at that triple threat match, whoever wins, somebody's going to be salty.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like, oh, this was Jeff Hardy's first singles run. Or, Sami lost the belt because he left. Or, AJ, is stuck between these two champions. So... I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah. I am too. And I don't think there's really a bad champion there.
Yeah.
So, I'm interesting.
So Raw.
I'm gonna start things off by bringing in the Hurt Business
with the new member.
Cedric Alexander, which I still disagree with.
Why?
For the same reason I said last week, I find it hard not seeing him as a face.
That's fair. But counterpoint.
Yeah.
Who would you see more as a heel, Alexander or Ricochet?
Alexander, okay. Absolutely. I don't know if any of those three guys should have been.
I just think that it's adding someone to the group.
Yeah.
I still think that they need that superstar, and if it is going to be MVP, fine. But that group is being booked constantly. They have a belt now.
Yeah.
Bobby's the U.S. champ.
Yeah.
So adding the high flyer kind of character is fine for me, but I still want to see one more person in that group.
So this was actually almost my bad booking. Okay. Not because of Cedric joining, but because they had a match with... Raw started off with Cedric, Apollo, and Ricochet versus the Hurt Business.
Yeah.
And then later on that night, they basically just redid that match, but with Eric and Ivar.
Yeah, and Ivar got hurt.
Yeah. They had the same match twice.
Yeah. Well, I think that they were doing it to promote the fact that Cedric was going to turn.
Sure.
But I agree with you, that match should happen next week instead. But it can't happen anymore because Ivar got hurt.
I think... And this is just speculation on my part, but I think the reason they're doing it is because they have a lack of actual stories or matches that they have ready for Raw.
I agree. I shouldn't be able to see the Hurt Business for 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I think 2 is enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's almost like they're taking up all of the screen time for Raw.
I think I know what your bad booking is now. I've thought about it, but I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
For it. But,
okay. Because I'm going to avoid talking about it in Raw.
But there's one thing that I love now.
Yeah.
And it's the brand split.
Yeah.
Okay? The one thing I love about the brand split is that now you have the Hurt Business on one side. You have Retribution that's only on Raw too. So
yeah.
I think that maybe one of them is going to have to be moved. I'm hoping it's Hurt Business goes to SmackDown. I think it would make more sense.
Yeah.
But I just think that the talent on Raw is not good enough on the mic.
Yeah.
Where they have to make these groups to keep the storylines interesting.
Yeah.
MVP is the only guy in that group that can really, really cut a good promo. The rest of the guys can cut promos, but MVP is the one you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm listening. So
I don't know if it's a difference in the creative team between Raw and SmackDown, but I just think right now SmackDown has much better booking than Raw has.
It's because SmackDown has better talent.
That too.
The fact that it's AJ, Hardy,
Mm-hmm.
and Sammy fighting for the mid-card belt
Yeah.
makes it huge.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because that they were stuck with these big guys as Universal Champ. But now that Roman's champ, he's going to fight Jey Uso, which is in a bloodbath, and we're going to have a wrestling match, and I'm so excited. So, no, I agree. I'm excited to see what Hurt Business will be. I'm still waiting to see how long it goes.
Yeah, because
I have a feeling there's going to be a match at Survivor Series where it's going to be Hurt Business versus Raw Talent.
Yeah,
and it'll put the Hurt Business over doing that. But again, if you're going to do that match, it's 5v5. So how are you going to book it?
Or
they could, if it's Raw versus SmackDown, they'll probably do Hurt Business versus like SmackDown characters. Or
yeah, that's fair.
So either way,
I mean, I'm sure from now until whenever Survivor Series is, November, I think.
Yeah, usually it's in November.
Yeah, from now to then, there's plenty of time to add a 5th member.
100%. And it could be a surprise.
It could be a surprise. Yeah. I'm still thinking. I still want to say it's Titus, but.
Yeah, but
I have a
superstar.
I
agree with Titus should be in that group, but it's not a superstar.
I have another theory, and he's not a superstar, but I don't know if you'll.
Vince McMahon.
That's it. No, I don't think you'll like this at all.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dabba-Kato.
I mean, I think that goes into your bad booking from later. But
tell me it doesn't make sense for him to be in Hurt Business with what he's done so far. You don't put him on the mic, obviously.
There's only one way you can book that, really, and is if have him fight Alexander and Shelton Benjamin on Raw Underground, and MVP stopping and being like, whoa, you should be in this group, not
yeah.
But I'm fine with Dabba-Kato being on the Hurt Business as long as he's not, as long as Raw Underground burns to the ground.
Yeah, that's fair.
I have a question for you really quick before you go to the next point, though.
Sure, yeah.
I'm seeing online there's a lot of people that don't like the idea of retribution. Okay? What's the idea for people being mad about this? Because it's a super group, because there's going to be a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
But why would people be mad at the fact that they don't know what's going to happen?
Because, and I was going to talk about this later, so we can just talk about it now, because it fits in, it's fine.
Okay.
It seems like they don't have a clear plan with what they want to do with it.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, they finally cut their first promo.
They cut their first promo, and I don't think it was that great.
It wasn't supposed to be great. It was just okay, we got a promo to do.
But like,
don't forget, there's going to be a lot of people in this group.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in that group probably can't cut great promos.
That's true.
They probably can wrestle really well.
Since we're on the topic of it, in that promo that they cut, there was one video I saw on Instagram where the lighting was a lot brighter than what the actual video was usually.
Yeah. There's a reason for that.
I'm telling you right now, Dijakovic was in that video.
Oh, 100%. I knew
Dijakovic was there, and I'm pretty sure Mia Yim was on his left.
Yes, I believe. There's some names that came out from Meltzer and those guys.
Yeah.
Dijakovic is, to me, he's the one person that we all know is in that group. Mia Yim, I believe, is in that group as well.
Yeah.
I think Carmella's in that group too.
Yes.
And a name that came out today as well was, I was not really shocked because he hasn't done anything in a while, was Mojo Rawley, which kind of makes sense.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
There was rumors on Shane Thorne as well.
Okay.
And I don't know. We don't, like, it's like I said before. They can swerve us and literally put anybody under those masks.
Yep.
And that person's not going to be in retribution.
Yep.
It's just for scaring people. So
yeah.
We're just going to have to wait till everybody comes out.
That's true. But
I do think Dijakovic for sure is in there. Mia Yim really looks like she's in there.
Yep.
And Carmella. I think Carmella and Mia Yim are about, to me, are like at the same percentage of belief that they'll be in there. Mojo Rawley was one that was named
That's
today.
That's very believable.
I thought about it. That kind of makes sense.
It makes sense.
And the one person that I was thinking of today, I just told you just before we started, was Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's in it because we would obviously know that he's in that group if we see him.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys that we haven't seen in a while, like Mojo. So I was thinking, like, oh, maybe. But I believe that Lars Sullivan will be released pretty soon. And we kind of can segue into AOP.
AOP, yeah.
They got released.
That's true.
Akam and Rizar got released.
Yeah.
My question to you about that is, Do you think it all went to shit after Paul Ellering left?
Well, yeah, they had. Obviously, they were really bad on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Like they cut like this one promo after that, and it was just really, really bad.
In their native language, wasn't it, or something like
Something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was just really bad. And then they did a little bit with Seth, and
Well, they got injured.
yeah,
They won the belts at one point.
Sure.
And one of them got injured.
Yeah.
And then they came back to be with Seth, and then another one got injured. I
Yeah.
don't know which one it was.
yeah,
But I just think it was bad timing because of all the releases and coronavirus.
yeah,
And I just, like, Vince has this idea that every wrestler has to be able to cut at least a promo. It doesn't have to be great, they just have to cut it.
yeah.
And they couldn't do that. That's why he put them with Paul Ellering. And I just think that as soon as Paul Ellering left, that's when the group went to, like kind of shit.
Like I get that they were supposed to be like these big guys, these powerhouses, but I think like even just in the ring, they weren't doing much.
Yeah,
They
it's
were
not like they were Kane and Big Show.
really
They're
not
even close.
No.
Kane and Big Show can cut promos, and they
Yeah.
were wrestling perfectly fine together. They even put their finishers together and did the double choke slam.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
I just think that it's not that it's a wasted opportunity, but it's just one of those groups that got unlucky with injury.
Yep.
And I mean, with the Drake Maverick thing, kind of worked a little bit, and he was really funny with the group. But I just think that
Yeah, I think it was hard to book them
that is true as well.
because like it's hard to make a promo with them in general. So finding a tag team that'll be able to mesh well with them in that sense is kind
It
of
kind of
hard.
made me think of Ryback.
Yeah.
Because Ryback had this one thing where he would always say and have the crowd chant. And he was just this big guy that could wrestle. The difference between Ryback and AOP is AOP got injured, Ryback caused injury.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference.
That's true.
But yeah, I hope they find jobs. They probably will. They're
Yeah.
good guys.
Yeah.
I just don't know where I would put them at this point. You can't put them in AEW.
No, they don't
tag teams
fit.
that
They don't fit there.
So
TNA match.
TNA would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They could feud with Gallows and Anderson. Why not?
Sure, two big guys
Go get
versus a
Paul
big guy and a
again and-
small guy.
Yeah.
It works. It
Put a
works.
manager with them or something.
Yeah, you definitely can do that.
Oh yeah.
Next up, I want to talk about a match that's going to happen, I think it's next week, or it might be tomorrow on SmackDown. Cesaro and Shinsuke versus
Oh yeah.
the Street Profits.
The Street Profits.
I am really liking this Cesaro and Shinsuke angle.
Yeah,
I
because
love
they're
them
the
as
two best
titles.
wrestlers that
They're
weren't
so
doing anything.
I know, but they're so good together, and I think Cesaro, he's not the best at cutting promos, but I think he does well. He's
Oh, yeah.
decent on the mic.
Oh yeah.
He's a lot better than people give him credit for.
Here's the one thing that I don't like about this match.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it's like, okay, champion versus champion, great, but are you only doing this because you literally had nobody else to feud with these guys?
Yeah,
That's
what it looks like, I guess.
Makes me think like, okay, this division is really thin.
that's true. Yeah, because like who else? What tag team is on SmackDown right now that could challenge for the titles against Cesaro and Shinsuke?
If I can't name one, you can't name
Yeah, that's the thing.
one. So,
There really isn't one.
in my opinion, the roster, when the roster is thin like that, I think that the tag team champions, there should only be one tag team champion, and they should battle on both shows. That's how I feel about it. Just because the roster's thin.
This could be a way to set that up, though.
Yes.
Like this is obviously this match is going to be a non-title match.
Yes.
But you could probably set it up for maybe this pay-per-view or the next one to be
Right.
a title unification thing.
Because, like, we think about the last 5 years of tag team in WWE, and it's been mostly carried by the New Day and the Usos,
Which are both injured.
which are both not being tag team
Yeah.
wrestlers right now. So, I just think that if it's probably going to be a great match,
Yep.
but in my head, I'm looking at it, I'm like, holy smokes, like, AEW really has this tag team division figured out compared to everyone. And the worst part about it is literally the Revival, who's
Yeah.
the champion over there, who worked with WWE not that long ago. So their tag booking isn't good.
No, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Pretty poor. And like it's kind of hard to fix it too.
Yeah.
Like the only way would be to call up NXT tags, but I don't think that's the right
Who
option
would you
here.
even call up at this
Yeah, there's no one really I could think of.
The only people that would make sense would be the Undisputed Era.
and I don't
But
I don't think it's time for that. No.
Yeah, but here, listen to this for though.
Okay.
They don't have a belt right now.
Yeah.
None of them have a belt. Adam Cole just lost to Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
So it could happen.
Maybe.
I'm just saying a call up could happen.
Maybe.
Just saying. It might be Undisputed Era Hurt Business 4v4.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Put Undisputed Era on SmackDown
No. Well, no.
for Survivor Series.
I want them on Raw.
Mm.
I want the Undisputed Era on Raw just because the fact that SmackDown doesn't have a group that they can fight against. Unless you move the Hurt Business over.
Yeah, you could do that.
But
No,
if you put Undisputed Era on SmackDown right now, who are they going to feud? They're 4 guys.
Yeah, that's true.
You can make them feud with Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Yeah.
But if they don't win the belt, it's a huge waste. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I do want to see them being held up soon.
The one problem I have with moving the Hurt Business to SmackDown is that just kind of kills Raw even more, and it's already dead.
Yeah,
you know.
You got Kate Lee up there now, and you could probably call up somebody else,
sure,
like Ciampa or
but like,
Gargano, or
if you're thinking about it right now, Hurt Business is already like 50% of Raw's airtime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's fair. But good for them; they're getting their time at least.
Yeah. Next up, Peyton Royce faced off against Billy Kay. I don't know why they're doing this. I still don't understand this.
Well, I just think that they're trying. I mean. It's an interesting one because there wasn't really a fight between the tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to see Peyton Royce just clobber Billy Kay instead of crying.
But that's not what it was. It was just like a sad, depressing match. I don't understand why this happened this way. They're booking it weirdly.
I don't know. I feel like they're booking the Billy Kay in a corner where she's going to be like probably released by a few years.
Yeah.
And it's not her fault. She did great with the Iconics, but it's just... I don't know. We'll see. I know Peyton Royce, if they're going to position her to fight for a belt soon, perfectly fine with, but she better bring it, because if it's Asuka, Asuka's going to work her.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if it was just them not wanting to hurt each other, but I thought the match was sort of sloppy a bit. A lot of the kicks were pulled a bit more than they should have been and stuff like that, so I don't know if she's ready for a title picture.
I don't know. It's interesting because you would think a tag team, they would have a lot of good chemistry together. Against each other, they just didn't work.
It's really odd.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Speaking of Asuka and the women's division, Mickie James and Asuka actually teamed up on this Raw against Natalya and Lana, which I thought was interesting. And it showed them being able to work as a tag team.
They're not going to be a tag team.
I don't think they're going to...
just to promote it, I think.
Sure, but I could see it possibly happening at some point if neither of them are holding titles. Like I said last time, I think they would be an interesting match to go up against Shayna and Nia Jax.
But they wouldn't win. Sorry, they would not win.
I could see it.
I literally think that Shayna and Nia will have these tag team belts till after WrestleMania.
So I agree with you there, and I think the way they did it on Raw with that was they had Shayna Baszler take on the Riot Squad by herself, and then they had another match of Nia Jax taking on the Riot Squad.
What does that prove, though?
By herself.
That doesn't prove anything.
It's so weird.
This is why that doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
Okay? You're making Liv and Ruby work twice.
Yeah.
Just to get buried by one person.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't get it. It just shows how much the women's tag division really is weak right now.
Yeah, well, the women's division is... Like, this would be a perfect time now to be like, okay, Shayna, go get the belt from Bayley or go get the belt from Asuka. Yeah. But they put the tag team belts on them, and now I don't believe that they will ever lose those tag team belts.
I think the only realistic way is if one of them turns on the other and injures them in the ring, and then that's how they lose the titles.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll happen.
I don't think that'll happen either. Next up, I want to talk about Randy Orton getting hit with 3 claymores.
Yeah.
They're selling it as if the claymore is almost as destructive as the punt. which
Okay.
I think is wrong.
I don't. Because if I'm looking back at the punt, it's Randy's. It's not necessarily. The RKO is his finisher.
Yeah.
But the punt is his extra move to make sure he wins.
The punt is supposed to put you out.
Yeah. But the Claymore
Yeah.
is his finisher.
Yeah.
But I think it's also kind of his move to put you out. It kind of got. It's the same concept. It's a boot to the face.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a cool contrast.
Yes, for sure. I just think that Drew McIntyre punting, Claymore wing
Yeah.
3 times to Randy Orton's face makes sense because Randy punted him 3 times.
Yep.
I still think the punt is a little bit more lethal just because of the people that not ending the careers of anybody, but putting people out.
Yeah.
But I think it's the same kind of hit, so it would make sense.
I think it kind of forces their match at Clash of Champions to end in either a punt or a Claymore. I think if you don't do it this time, then it's just...
Well, if Randy wins with an RKO, I won't say anything. I'll be like, oh, cool, Randy won.
I disagree. I think it actually kind of takes away a bit from Drew if he just loses off an RKO now. I think it has to be a punt or a Claymore.
I think I think I said this on the podcast already. I think if you want Randy to win it, you gotta book him missing a Claymore, and then hitting an RKO and then doing the punt. If you want Drew to win this, you make Randy go for the punt, and then while he starts to run, Drew gets up and Claymores. So we'll wait and see on that one because I still want Randy to win. I still think that he deserves it. But what will they do with it? Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
That's right. Match with Ivar at WrestleMania.
If he's back from injury.
Yeah. And last up for Raw was the Mysterios, not just Ray and Dominic, but the whole family beating up Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, they counted all the shots he took. I think it was 83.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kendo sticks.
So, here's one thing that I've heard.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is now off Raw because of the birth of him and his child.
Okay.
So, this is the one thing that I like. So, they took care of Buddy.
Yeah.
Now you can move them to something else.
Yeah.
So, that could be a savior in the tag team division.
Yeah.
Dominic and Ray be a good tag team.
That's true.
Which I think they would both do, and I think Ray would.
Oh, Ray would love that. Yeah.
Love it. So, I think that might be where they go with it. We'll see. But, yeah. Buddy got hammered by every member of the Mysterio.
I think it was excessive. A bit excessive.
It's excessive because they started and it was excessive. They were already hitting each other with kendo sticks from the first time they started, talking and fighting.
But like, it's the fact that it kept going on and on and on and on. You're like, okay, I get it. They're attacking him with kendo sticks.
Yeah.
I get it. And then they just keep going and keep going, and you're like, okay,
Is this a way to put Buddy off TV too?
Maybe? I don't think so.
No, I think that he deserves to be on the TV. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know where this puts Buddy at though. Like, what does he do from here?
Well, he's kind of fucked either way.
Yeah, he is.
Seth is actually gone for the birth of his child. Well, what do you even do with this Buddy character?
See, I hate that it's hard to book him because he's such a great wrestler.
Yeah.
They just don't know how to properly utilize him.
He's primed for a mid-card run, but
sure, but like, what's he realistically gonna do? He can't face Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title.
Not right now.
He's gonna get squashed.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's really not much you could make him feud with that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that, but who knows? Maybe he's
Retribution.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Maybe the leader of Retribution or something.
That would be okay.
Not the leader. Maybe
not the leader. Yeah.
They could do the same thing that Rollins did with him, which was recruiting him. They could recruit him to Retribution.
Yeah,
like
that's true. Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for Raw.
So we moved to NXT.
So Finn Balor is NXT champion.
really great match.
Yep.
Really good.
Yep.
Cole delivers again.
Mm-hmm.
He always does.
Mm-hmm.
And Finn is champ. Who do you think Finn's going to face first?
Tough question.
Because we have, so from the last show, Kushida looks like he's going to feud with Velveteen.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory and Bronson Reed just feuded.
Yep.
What else? Killian Dane and Drake Maverick seem to be becoming a team, and they feuded against Undisputed Era.
Mm-hmm.
And was there another feud that night? I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure. But who would you see Balor go against right now? Then no, it can't be Karrion Kross.
I wasn't going to say Karrion Kross. I was going to say Dijakovic, but with the whole retribution thing, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. I think Dijakovic was just too good to be in NXT. No, really.
That's fair.
Like, he was just too good a wrestler, because you saw the Keith Lee match.
Yeah.
5 stars by far.
Yep.
So.
I don't know. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who are deserving of a title shot, but there's not like one specific person that comes to mind.
Yeah. And it will depend on who Balor wants to work with, too.
That's true. Drake Maverick.
If it's Drake Maverick, that would be quite the story for 2020. No, I'm excited to see who Balor wants to work with.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that whoever it is, it'll be a good match. Like, we know how good Balor can be. And,
absolutely.
And we knew that he deserved it at the time. So.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of the Ripley Martinez match?
Yeah, so I only saw some highlights of the match and watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. They both had some good moments, took some good bumps.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really surprised. Rhea Ripley, we know she can work well.
Yeah. I think it's time. It's time to call her up.
Yeah.
Because there's too many good female in that division.
Yeah.
That it's time.
Mm-hmm.
And they could use it. We said this earlier on the podcast, and I still believe it. I think it's time to be called up, and I think it's time to make her a champion in WWE.
Yep.
And
I agree.
I don't know how they would book that right now, but I think that's what they should do.
Yep. Props to Martinez too.
Oh yeah.
Wrestled well.
Yep. She's going to be
match.
good. I think she's getting away from Robert Stone, which is what I think everybody wanted.
Yeah.
And,
definitely.
I think that she could be Rhea Ripley 2.0 kind of person and just destroy everyone, which is fine. So more power to you.
Yeah. No, I think definitely.
Yep.
Great match.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for the bad booking segment. Week 4.
Do you see the steam coming out of my ears, Zach?
No, I don't think that's steam. I think that's something else.
Okay.
Anyways, what is your bad booking segment, sir? And I just wanted to tell everybody at home who's listening to this, when we do bad booking segment, we plan it on our own and we don't tell the other one what's happening. So the reason why we get so excited is we're excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
And I think I already know where it goes with this one.
So
I'm just going to say 2 words and you'll tell me if I'm warm or cold, okay?
Okay.
Raw Underground.
Oh, you're very warm. You're very warm, Zach. You are on the dot.
Alright, go for it.
So, I remember last podcast we were talking about how excited we were that Kevin Owens and Aleister Black are feuding together, Zach.
Yep.
That is such a perfect match for each other.
Especially for a heel outfit.
Oh, they would make such a good match.
Yep.
So how does WWE book this match, Zach?
Tell me, Alex.
On Raw Underground. Now, it would be one thing if they just had a normal Raw Underground match. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you exactly how this went down.
I'm listening.
Shane let them in.
Yeah.
They started their match. The match is going.
Yeah.
They cut to Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan facing off against Shayna Baszler.
So they're fighting.
The match didn't end. They just completely cut that, go to that match.
Okay.
They finished the whole match.
Yeah.
Cut back to Kevin Owens and Aleister Black. Mm-hmm. Their match is still going.
First of all, there should never be 2 wrestling matches at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely not. That makes no sense.
No sense at all. You're burying your talent without even knowing it.
They're in their match. They go out of the ring. come back into the ring. Aleister Black knocks Kevin Owens out of the ring and hits Dabba-Kato.
Okay.
Dabba-Kato comes in and squashes both of them.
Okay. Alright.
The match ends with Dabba-Kato being the winner.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
Is that how you would have predicted a Kevin Owens and Aleister Black match to be booked?
Here's my only comparison that I see. It would be kind of like when... Remember when Ryback used to fight local competitors?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why we're still talking about Ryback, but it was just a comparison that came to mind. And he would just beat the living hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he gets these two guys where you're like, okay, those two guys could win, and then all of a sudden he still wins.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
This is that, but times 5 because it's Aleister and Kevin Owens.
Exactly.
Two guys who've been NXT champion getting squashed by a guy who literally just bypassed NXT and went straight to Raw Underground, which is the worst thing they've ever done.
I think the part that makes the least sense is Shane doing commentary this entire time.
Shane shouldn't be there. Raw Underground shouldn't be a thing. We're still talking about it.
Shane is just acting like all of this makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's going through their mind.
Do you think Steph and Triple H laugh all the time because Vince gave Triple H NXT and Vince gave Raw Underground to Shane McMahon? Do you think they talk about that at all?
I could imagine weird family dinners where everyone is just really silent and then Triple H is just like,
so that Raw Underground, huh?
So Dabba-Kato, eh?
He's gonna be a star, huh?
How long do you think it takes until Shane McMahon and Dabba-Kato end up getting married? Zach, I don't get this.
I just want to see, I'm at the point with Raw Underground where I'm just like, oh, that person was there? He's getting buried, isn't he? That's what it feels like at that point. And, here's the thing, too. There's... Dolph Ziggler's been there for a while now.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking at that, and I'm like, damn, wouldn't it be okay if Dolph was on SmackDown in that Intercontinental title feud just to make it fatal 4-way? That'd be fine.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
But he's literally on Raw Underground every week.
Zach.
And that, Dabba-Kato is big. But he was so big that he can't even do a match on the ring for Raw. He's doing it in Raw Underground. He's literally just picking up people and throwing them on the ground for people's entertainment.
Zach, why did he get involved in my favorite feud?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. But I agree with this bad booking. I'm on your side.
Oh my god.
I don't think we found a bad booking where one of us disagreed.
Yeah.
But this makes no sense. Book Aleister versus Kevin Owens in a match by itself. And it'll probably draw you a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But book him on Raw Underground? When the fans come back, if Raw Underground is on the main stage and they just take out all the ropes and all of a sudden people come out and they do it like that, I want to hear the whole crowd boo.
Oh my
I want
God.
bigger boos than Roman Reigns had.
Yeah.
That's how big of boos I want to see. So whoever goes to the live shows when they come back, if that's the case, boo the shit out of that angle.
For everyone listening, I just want y'all to know that this bad booking, I'm crying right now.
Yeah, he was in tears.
Oh my god.
It's not believable.
This is horrible.
The people that say Retribution is a bad thing, say Raw Underground is a good thing, I never want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I do not want to talk to you.
Your opinion to me
is invalid.
And I don't say that about a lot of things.
That I will say.
Oh.
But I agree. It's horrible booking.
I don't get it. Why?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to talk about it more.
I just want to move on.
Make you cry anymore.
I just want to move on.
But so we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
We got some questions.
Yeah.
From my boy Pat.
Let's go.
Shout out to Pat once more.
Let's go, Pat. Thank you, Pat.
Pat, if you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, which I know you are, we're gonna try to have you here for one. I think you would bring a lot to the podcast.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Just as a special guest or whatever, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So his question. His first question.
Yes.
Who do you think will turn heel or face in the next year
Wow. Really good question there.
Yeah, it's making me think too. I'm just looking at the questions now.
Going face, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah. I think Buddy should. You know what? We were saying that we don't know what he should do at this point. I think he should just go back to NXT and fight for that.
I was thinking of that. Yeah.
Title, just to promote the other guys.
Yeah.
And have good matches where people cheer him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard to see who's going to go turn heel, turn face. The one person that I kind of want to see as a heel, because we've only seen him as a face so far, is Keith Lee. I think that heel Keith. I mean, right now it doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no, because he's feuding with Orton or McIntyre or whatever. But I think that a heel Keith Lee would be something that would be at least interesting to see.
I think it would only make sense if Drew retains.
Yeah.
But it would be. Yeah, I think it would be cool to see. Definitely. Have him go after Drew.
You know who's someone that is. I don't know if you would categorize. I think he's kind of like a heel right now. But it would be a good if he would hit his partner and go into the business for himself.
Yeah.
Would be John Morrison. I think John Morrison could turn on the Miz.
Yeah.
And they could have like maybe one or two pay-per-view matches, or and then have Morrison fight a Styles or fight a Sami Zayn or someone like that. I think Morrison is underutilized only because they got him and they didn't know what to do with him from the start. So they were just like, okay, well, I'll put him back with Miz. I think that his talent is too big for him to be with Miz for the rest of this run. And that's not a shot. It's not a shot at Miz. Miz is an amazing talent by himself and as a tag team. I'm just saying that both of those guys could easily be single stars, but they have to book it right.
I think I agree. It's just doing that also weakens the tag division. It's already very weak.
That's true.
I think you can't do that until the New Day and the Usos are back.
Yeah. Another person too that could just go back to what he was doing before would be Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that'd be good.
He was kind of booked as the heel or a monster.
Yeah.
Which he wasn't really a face. He wasn't really a heel. But I think that the best thing that Braun Strowman could do would be going back to being a face. I think.
Yep.
Just because at one point in my mind when I'm watching Braun Strowman wrestle, sometimes the stuff is just not always on point. But I think that him being this monster kind of character and this guy who can't smile, the guy who smiles because he's kicking somebody's ass, would kind of be the guy that I would cheer for. And just the pop that he would get when he would like wave his finger around to go tackle everybody, I think Braun Strowman could be a face again. Yep.
I think that's a solid choice.
I don't know if there's anybody else I'm thinking of real quick. Maybe in the female division?
Female division.
It's hard. There's only like one, like the only heel I see would be Bailey's like the only.
Bailey's already heel.
Jax is a heel.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jax and Baszler work really well together and is kind of funny, they could kind of turn into faces.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I mean.
I think like it would have to be like borderline comedic.
Yeah.
But it could work. It could work, but it's
yeah. I think Mandy Rose might turn from a heel to a face now because she's by herself.
Is she really a heel now, though?
No, but she was a heel for a long time.
She was, yeah.
So, okay, she would kind of be turning into a face, I guess.
She kind of was a face in the Sonya Deville match, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Another person that I'm thinking of real quick would be Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
Because he's the best heel I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
WWE. Not AEW. But I think that he might get lost in the shuffle here. And I think that if he would get called up right now, he would be a face because people would be happy to see him.
I think it's hard because they're kind of getting sort of buried a bit, but I think the Riot Squad maybe turning like heel again would be interesting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think that would bring more legitimacy, but at the same time, they're doing 2-on-1 matches and losing both.
I just kind of think they'd have to have a third.
Yeah.
Like before.
Sarah Logan.
I would like Sarah Logan back, but
I don't think
it's not going to happen. Especially since she's pregnant.
Yeah. Second question. Which division is the weakest and the best in Raw and SmackDown?
Raw's the weakest. Hands down.
No, division. I think it means like tag team.
Oh, okay.
I think that it's pretty thin on Raw.
Yeah.
Any way you look at it.
Yeah.
I think that the weakest thing on Raw would probably be the tag teams, but the women wouldn't be far and the men wouldn't be far either. On SmackDown, the men, the single stars are definitely first.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bayley on herself would be second because I think that the tag team division is strong.
Yeah.
So, but Cesaro and Sheamus are so great. It's just that they don't have anybody to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
So they go to Raw. They get the Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I think that SmackDown is the better brand right now, just because of the single stars that they have.
Definitely.
And I think that the best part of WWE Raw or SmackDown is the male superstars on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree.
I think that although Retribution and Hurt Business are keeping my interest there,
yeah,
I think that that's the strongest thing that they have in the company right now.
Yep, 100% agree.
If you in the question, it doesn't say NXT, but I think NXT has better or equal single stars as SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I think that their women's division is stronger.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And I think that their tag team, I would say they're a little bit stronger just because of Undisputed Era and Imperium and those guys. But I think that NXT is the best thing that they got going right now. Mm-hmm. Doesn't say AEW, but if we were going to talk AEW, I think that their tag team division is
the strongest by far. Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
Then it's the males and then it's the females. Just because there's still I still want to see a Becky Lynch and AEW.
It's like not to say that the female division in AEW is weak. It's just I don't think they have a very strong standout star.
Yeah, they don't have the notoriety that big women's superstar. Ready for the final question? I saved this one for last.
Okay, sure.
When do you think?
Tomorrow.
It could happen tomorrow. When do you think Otis will use the Money in the Bank?
Okay.
And how does he use it? Who would he like? Wouldn't that just make Roman the weakest if he would cash in on Roman?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody has to beat Roman, and so this is the most interesting booking I think is going to be someone has to beat Roman, but also look weak as hell because he's going to lose it to Otis on a Money in the Bank cash-in.
I just can't see that happening, right?
Yeah, I don't see it happening either.
And then again, I can't see it happening on Drew either.
Yeah, but who do you like? Okay, let's say the timetable. When is Money in the Bank? It's in the summer, isn't it?
I can look it up.
It's in June.
I'll look it up. Yeah.
June or May? I think May.
Money in the Bank is in May.
In May.
Yeah.
So we're in September.
Mm-hmm.
That means 4 months have passed.
Mm-hmm.
So he technically only has that briefcase for another 8.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you book this? Or when do you think he's gonna? Let's just start with when do you think he's gonna cash it, and who do you think he's gonna cash it against?
I think the when is the harder part because it really could be any time, but it has to be. Yeah, like it has to be. Is he able to cash out on a tag championship?
I think it would just be stupid to do that.
I think it would, but I don't see that.
It's just that the Money in the Bank briefcase has been booked so hard to be it for the main championship that if he was to do it with something else, it would kind of lose a lot of legitimacy to his own character.
Is someone else allowed to cash it in? Like, is he able to give it to someone else? Because currently, John Morrison technically has his Money in the Bank. He doesn't anymore?
Did you see that? No, he opened the case and it was his lunchbox.
Oh. Amazing.
Yeah, I don't know how you would book this. I mean, you can have you would have to book it in a way where Roman or whoever's the champion be completely destroyed. And the only thing I could remember that was kind of like this was when Daniel Bryan cashed in on Big Show because him and Mark Henry went at it in a chair match.
Yep.
And Mark just kicked him and chaired him and all that stuff after the match where Daniel Bryan just came in and took the win and kept going. So if you're going to do something like that, then it could be any time.
I think that when he does cash it in, he's not winning it.
Okay.
First of all, I didn't want Otis to win the Money in the Bank Championship in general.
No.
It just doesn't make sense for him to be a single star with a championship.
Yeah, it's not a Kofi New Day situation.
Really not.
Okay, so say he wins it.
Yeah.
Who is he going after? Whatever the booking is going to be, it feels like it's going to be a squash match against Otis. Doesn't it? It feels like if he beats Roman and Roman's or Paul Heyman's he's got a rematch clause. I can't imagine that match would last too long. Roman could just spear the boots off of him and that'd be it. So I just think it's one of those things where I feel like they're going to swerve us in a way where Otis might lose.
I think it'll be for the Intercontinental Championship. Which I think it's a waste of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any other way. Unless you really do just make it so he cashes in and gets squashed immediately.
Yeah. I think that Otis is a great person. But he was just given this briefcase because it feels like they just gave it to him to be okay, well, we don't know what to do with this, so we'll just give it to you now and we'll figure out something 8-9 months from now.
Who is in that match?
Styles was in that match. Corbin, Alistair, Mysterio.
Literally.
Daniel Bryan, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Alistair Black, Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, and Baron Corbin were in that match alongside him.
Yeah, 6 people, right?
Yeah. Why the hell did any of those 5 guys not win that?
Well, Daniel Bryan's not on TV right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense that he didn't win.
Ray was going to do the feud.
AJ was going to win the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, Ray was going to do the thing with Dom.
Yeah.
And then you have Corbin and Alistair. I still think it should have been Alistair.
Yeah, Alistair was probably
that's who my bet was at the
same time. It feels like they did this to swerve everybody of being we can put this on anybody and we'll show you by putting it on Otis.
Yeah, I think.
Don't be if Otis catches in and wins, it better be in a place where there's a lot of people in that building, because that might be a pretty good pop.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I mean, if Otis pins Roman Reigns, not only am I going to be shocked, but I'm going to be oddly pleasantly surprised.
It's kind of one of those things where it's you kind of want to watch every week just to see if it's actually going to happen.
Yeah,
but
I still can't believe it's on Otis.
It's weird to think about that it's going to be on Otis. But if you're going to ask me when do I think he's going to cash in, my best bet would be at a pay-per-view that's not a big 4.
Yeah.
Or it'll be on a Smackdown. But when is it going to happen?
It's so hard to tell.
It's really hard to tell. But I do kind of want to see him win just to see the shock on people's face. But I don't know how you would book it after. So.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, how many people have not cashed in successfully? There's
2.
Cena. No, there's 3, I think. Cena, Sandow, and Corbin. Right?
Oh, I forgot about Sandow.
Yeah, Sandow had cashed in on Cena and Cena beat him, of course. And then Corbin lost to Jinder Mahal in a roll-up in 3 seconds. See, but at the time, that was funny.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see that happen to Otis for some reason. So, I don't know. But I'm sure Otis will be champion at one point. I just hope that it's tag team champion, because Tucker deserves it too, for crying out loud.
Yep.
All right, Alex. Is that it?
That's it.
That is it for podcast episode number 4. So, to go through my rundown of every podcast at the end, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at MWPodcast1. Of course, you can email us at maritimewrestletime@gmail.com. You can also check us out on YouTube, which we are here doing this podcast right now, Maritime Wrestletime Podcast, and on Facebook at Maritime Wrestletime Podcast. We thank you very much, and we hope you have a nice day.